Welcome to a
Hello.
different kind of reaction. Here we have Connor. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, he says hi. That
Can I
is.
introduce them to what's going on?
No, that's my job. This
Oh.
is a book by a man, or maybe a boy, or maybe a girl. You don't get to know
No,
because you
It's Cherry Chimp.
suck butt cheeks, and you don't get to know. No, it's not. No, it's
Cherry
actually.
Chimp.
It's actually. Not.
At Cherry
At
_
cherry_chimp on youtube.com. He doesn't post any videos because he's, I don't know. But we're going to read this book. It's called,
The book.
you can see it up here. The Bridge and the Anchor Small. I can change the name if I want.
It's not supposed to say small, but...
Oh, The Bridge and the
Alright,
Anchor.
are we ready?
I'll change it.
There'll be some people you might recognize.
Some people you might recognize, some names you might recognize.
You know that, Michael.
Huh?
I'm just letting you know there'll be some people you might recognize in the book.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Prologue. The first.
Here we go.
Numbers. Braden Adamson was 14 the morning the world learned to scream. He woke to children outside his window chanting, their voices bright, shrill, broken into a single, wordless rhythm. 6767. Wow. Within the first 2 sentences of the book. I already want to shut it. No, I'm kidding. He thought at first it was a game, kids daring each other before school. But then he saw his neighbor, Mrs. Keating, stumble onto her porch, hand pressed into a bite at her arm, blood stringing down like ribbon. She lifted her face, mouth foaming, and joined the chorus. 6-7. That was the last normal morning Braden ever had. Holy butt? That's crazy.
Your thing is lagging so bad, though.
What do you mean?
Like your microphone. It's fine.
Maybe for you.
Happens occasionally. It's fine.
Chapter 1. Ashes of Harrisburg. The smell of bacon and the hiss of the frying pan were the first things Braden noticed that morning. His mother was humming in the kitchen, some old tune she always fell back on when she cooked. His little sister, Lucy, was sprawled on the couch in the living room, hair tangled, clutching the TV remote like it was a weapon in sibling war she hadn't started yet. 14. That was Braden Adamson's age. Old enough to know his parents worried too much, young enough to think life in Harrisburg would stretch on forever in the same tired rhythm. School, chores, baseball, and the cul-de-sac with the neighbors. Maybe video games late if his dad didn't turn off the Wi-Fi to make him sleep. Oh, okay, wait. Normal. That morning he remembers, he argued with Lucy about who would get the bigger share of bacon. She shrieked when he swiped one off her plate and stuffed it in his mouth. His mom scolded both of them while trying not to laugh. His dad, beard speckled with gray dust from yesterday's construction job, just shook his head and muttered, "Kids." It was almost perfect. Then the screaming started outside. Not the kind of screaming that comes with kids playing tag or fighting over basketball fouls, sorry. This was sharp, rhythmic, unified. 6-7, 6-7. I don't know why I said it like that. At first, Braden thought it was some dumb neighborhood dare, maybe kids copying a chant they'd heard on TV. But then he went outside. But when he went outside the window, what am I saying? When he went to the window, he froze.
Where did you get outside?
I don't know. 6 kids stood in the street, their voices too loud, too jagged, their mouths open wide, spit flying with each number, their fists... their fists clenched. One of them banged his head against the side of a parked car over and over, while the others shouted around him like cheerleaders in a nightmare. Across the street, Mrs. Keating staggered onto her porch. She was usually so proper. The type who yelled if Braden rode his boat too close.
That had to have been.
That was not. Oh my god.
Riding his boat.
I'm so illiterate, bro. What is that? Oh my god. Rode his bike too close to her yard. Now her bathrobe hung open, soaked at the arm. What does that even mean? Bathrobe hung open. Is she naked?
I don't know, okay?
Her hand was pressed to a rag around her wrist, blood dripping between her fingers.
Ragged wound.
What?
To a ragged wound on her.
Oh, a ragged wound on her wrist, blood dripping between her fingers. She looked at the kids, then she opened her mouth. 6, 7. The same word, the same scream. Braden stumbled back. Oh, he forgot to put a space there. From the window, nearly tripping over Lucy, who'd come to see what was going on. His mouth. His mom shouted at him to explain. His dad moved towards the door, but Braden shouted, "Don't!" The panic in his own voice surprised him, but it was too late. Mr. Keating from next door bolted into the street, baseball bat in hand. He swung once, cracking one of the chanting kids across the shoulder. The boy went down, but didn't cry out, didn't scream in pain. He just rolled onto his knees, face blank, and picked up the chant again, louder. The others turned on Mr. Keating. They swarmed him, teeth bared, clawing, biting. He fell beneath them as the numbers rang louder, a chorus of violence. Braden's dad cursed and locked the door. The world outside had turned wrong. The chanting outside rose, carrying down the block like a warning siren. It did say warning. Lucy clutched Braden's arm. Why are they saying numbers? Her voice trembled, eyes wide and glassy. I don't know, Braden admitted, pulling her back from the window. His heart hammered so hard it made his ribs ache. Just stay away. His father dragged a heavy dining chair over and wedged it beneath the door handle, the old carpenter's instincts kicking in. Nobody goes out there, not until I say. His tone left no room for argument. But already the windows rattled with fists. 2 of the infected kids had peeled away from the chaos in the street. They stumbled onto the Adamsons' porch, their palms smearing sweat and saliva across the glass as they slammed it again and again. But already the windows rattled. No,
You skipped so many. You skipped so much.
I literally just skipped like a bunch of it. Wait. 6, 7. Every impact reverberated in Braden's bones. He clutched Lucy tighter. His mouth... Why do I keep saying mouth? His mother grabbed the cordless phone and tried dialing 911. But only static greeted her. She hung up, tried again, still nothing. I don't get it, she whispered. The line's dead. His dad's jaw tightened. He opened the closet, yanked out the old aluminum baseball bat Braden had used for Little League. He gripped it like a soldier instead of a father. We wait, someone will come. The police, the guard, someone. But deep down, Braden already knew no one was coming. That's what she said. Hours blurred together. The family huddled in a living room, curtains drawn in the living room. The family huddled in the living room, curtains drawn, listening to the chaos outside. Sometimes the chanting swelled into a chorus, dozens of voices shouting the number like a prayer. Sometimes it fell silent, broken only by the sound of glass shattering and metal bending as neighbors' houses were invaded. Lucy cried herself to sleep on Braden's shoulder. His mother clutched her cross necklace until her knuckles went white. His father kept pacing, bat in hand, muttering half-silent reassurances no one believed. By nightfall the smell hit, sour, metallic, drifting in from outside, blood and rot. Braden gagged against it. That's when the pounding on the windows began again. This time it wasn't kids. A man's voice, a loud, low and guttural, pushed through the walls. 7, 6, 7. Braden's father motioned everyone.
Like whispered it like you're like getting smaller.
Yes, man. I'm just trying to be dramatic with it.
I know.
Braden's father motioned everyone toward the basement. Go. Now. Braden helped Lucy down the creaking wooden stairs. The basement smelled of paint and old laundry, but it was shelter. His father pulled the bulkhead doors shut from the inside, bolting them. Then they waited in near darkness. Breath shallow. The infected keep pounding. Hours passed. Then came the break. Glass shattered upstairs. Footsteps dragged across hardwood. Furniture toppled. They were inside. Lucy whimpered. Braden covered her mouth gently, tears burning his own eyes. His father raised the bat, every muscle coiled, and then the basement door creaked. A shadow fell across the steps. The first one descended, drool stringing from its lips, eyes milky and vacant. That is disgusting. Behind it came another, and another. His father roared, swinging the baseball bat. Bowen crunched. The first infected crumpled, but the others surged forward. The basement filled with screaming. Braden grabbed Lucy's hand and bolted for the bulkhead. He unlatched it, shoved it open into the cold night air. His mother tried to follow, but hands dragged her back into the dark. Run! Wait, I have to do it in a low voice. Run! She screamed. Braden didn't look back. He dragged Lucy into the alley, but as they stumbled over broken glass, something slammed into him from behind. He fell hard, chin cracking against the pavement. Claws raked his arms, teeth snapping. He kicked, screamed, fought. And then fire erupted on his flesh. His teeth sank into his shoulder. His vision blurred. The chant filled his skull. 6, 7, 6, 7. The number became his heartbeat. Hours later, he staggered through the ruins of Harrisburg. Smoke rose from the burning houses. Sirens wailed distantly. Then went silent. Lucy was gone. His parents were gone. Only the number lingered in his skull. But somehow he clung to himself. He clenched his teeth against the word, pressing in his tongue, forced his feet to move, forced himself not to give in. He didn't know why. He hadn't changed completely. He only knew he was alone, and the world had ended. The bite throbbed like a molten metal searing under his skin. Braden staggered into the shadows of an alley, clutching his shoulder, feeling the hot ooze of blood between his fingers. Every heartbeat echoed with the number 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. The infected...
You're like smiling right now.
I know. The infected moved into the distance, shambling but quickly when they caught sight of prey. Their chorus carried through the night like a twisted hymn. He crouched low, teeth clenched so hard his jaw ached. His body screamed at him to join them, to open his mouth and let the number pour out. But some stubborn corner of his mind held it tight. He thought of Lucy, her small hand slipping from his, her scream echoing behind him, his mother's last words. Run. If he let the number win, they'd all be gone for nothing. So he forced silence on himself. He pressed his forehead to the cold brick, shivering in fever. Her eyes blurring, he didn't know what would happen. Come morning, maybe he'd be gone. Maybe he'd wake up, chanting with the rest. But not tonight. Not yet. He closed his eyes and promised himself one thing. If he lived, he'd keep moving for them. For Lucy. For anyone left. Chapter 2. The Hollow Days. Chapter 1 was good. How many pages do we have left? A lot. Braden awoke to smoke.
Alright, so what do you have to say?
What I have to say? I really hope I don't have to say 6, 7 a lot more. And
No,
also,
it's not that much.
it was good. It's pretty good so far. Very
Good so far.
Who's my favorite character?
I don't know why.
Well, considering that all the rest of them are dead, probably, um,
Brayden.
probably Braden, yeah.
Okay.
Braden awoke to Braden awoke to smoke. The city was quieter now. Though not silent, fires burned unchecked in the distance, their columns of ash painting the horizon gray. Cars lay abandoned in the streets, doors hanging open, alarms long dead. The infected still wandered, but less frenzied in daylight. They moved in clusters, heads twitching, mouths moving even when no sound escaped. Sometimes a stray voice broke through, that same number, but softer now, as if the word itself was tired. Braden rose shakily from his hiding spot in the gutted storefront. His arms ached, the wound swollen and red, but he was still himself. He touched his face, half expecting to feel drool or cracked skin like the ones outside, but no, just sweat, dirt, and fear. "Why me?" he whispered. His voice sounded cracked, strange in the silence. No answer came. He scavenged what he could, a half-eaten granola bar from under the counter, a bottle of water, warm from the heat. His stomach cramped as he ate, but it kept him standing. Outside, a crow landed on the roof of a burned car, tilting its head at him. Behind it, the skyline of Harrisburg looked hollow. Windows dark, buildings gutted. Braden hung himself against the chill, the bite pulsed with every step. A constant reminder. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know who was left, but he knew he couldn't stay here. And so, with the world collapsing around him, and the infection whispering numbers in the back of his skull, Braden Adamson, 14, orphaned, bitten, alone, stepped into the hollow streets of a city that no longer belonged to the living. The river was a dark mirror under the fading light, carrying Braden's little fishing boat steadily away from the city. Harrisburg's blackened skyline shrank behind him until it was only a jagged silhouette. For the first time since the world had collapsed, Braden felt lighter, not safe, never safe. But further away from the screams, the chanting, the smell of death, the steady rhythm of the oar and the quiet lap of water against the hull lulled him into a something close to calm. Then a voice cut across the river. "Hey kid, please, wait!" Braden froze, oar pausing mid-stroke. This is what you showed me.
No, that's not. I don't point it out.
On the bank, a man stumbled out of the trees. Older, maybe in his 30s. He looked exhausted, but alive. His eyes locked on Braden's with desperate relief, and he waded into the shallows, splashing water up to his knees. "Thank God," the man breathed. "You're real. I thought it was the only one left. Please, help me. We'll go together." Braden's chest tightened. Another survivor. For weeks he had been alone, his family gone. The city turned into a graveyard. Here was proof he wasn't the last one. The man reached for the boat. "Come on, kid. Just give me your hand." But Braden didn't move. His pulse thundered. His teeth ached, his jaw locking tight. The number whispered in the back of his mind, sharp and hungry. 6-7, 6-7. He clenched his fists.
But that's more at the beginning, less later.
He clenched his fists until his nails dug into his palms. His whole body trembled with the pull of it. The awful need to lash out. The infection screamed for him to grab the man, to bite, to end him. But Braden had held still. "No," he whispered, his voice barely carrying over the water. His hands shook, but he kept them at his sides. "I can't. I'm not safe." The man froze, chest heaving. He studied Braden's pale face, the fever sheen of sweat on his brow, the haunted look in his eyes. Slowly, the man's relief crumbled into understanding. "You've been bitten," he said quietly. Not a question. Braden lowered his head. He couldn't answer. The man stepped back, swirling around his legs. His expression was torn between pity and fear. "I'm sorry, kid." His voice cracked. "I can't risk it." He stumbled back onto the bank, retreating into the trees until the darkness swallowed him. Braden sat alone in the drifting boat, every muscle still shivering from the battle inside him. His throat ached from the word he refused to let escape. 6-7. He gripped the oar again, forcing it back into the water. Stroke after stroke, he rowed down the river, away from the city, away from the man who might have been a friend. The night grew darker, and Braden carried the silence like a wound. How much more can you say the word stroke?
Okay. Probably what I'm gonna do, go to chapter 13.
Why?
What do you want to do today? Because we're not doing it all.
Why not? Why would I skip to chapter 13, bro?
No, I mean do it up until 13. I mean, they're only halfway through.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Because it's already 9 p.m.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Chapter 3, The River's Edge.
Take 2 hours.
I know. The river carried him on. For 2 days, Braden let the Susquehanna pull him further from Harrisburg. Is that not how you say it? Susquehanna. For 2 days, Braden let the Susquehanna pull him further from Harrisburg. He rowed, oh my god. He rowed when he could, drifted when exhaustion won, and curled himself at the bottom of the boat during restless snatches of sleep. The world narrowed to water, sky, and the steady ache of the bite. Sometimes he saw... Oh my god. He saw shapes along the banks, the distant figures of the infected wandering aimlessly, hands jerking as if listening to us. Bro, heads joking as if listening to a song only they could hear. Other times, he saw nothing at all but the stretch of woods, empty and quiet. At night, he dreamed of his sister, her hand slipping out of his, her eyes wide with fear as the chanting rose behind them. In his dream, she always asked the same thing. "Why didn't you save me?" He woke each time with a number on his lips, choking it back before it spilled. Choking it back before it spilled out of context is crazy. 67. On the second evening, Braden spotted cranes jutting into the skyline. The silhouettes of warehouses and rusting metal containers lined the riverbank like silent sentries. A shipping yard. Why are you whimpering? Why are you whimpering, bro? Stop.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, continue.
The boat bumped against a half-broken dock, the wood groaning under his weight as he stepped out. His legs felt unsteady. His legs felt unsteady, muscles weak from hunger and fever. The yard was quiet, too quiet. He crept between stacks of containers, the air heavy with the smell of oil and rain-soaked iron. His heart pounded at every creak and echo, but the silence held. Then a voice cut through it. "Kid?" Braden froze. The man emerged from behind a stack of crates, his shirt torn, his face hollow with exhaustion. His arm was bandaged, the same one Braden had nearly grabbed on the river. "It's you," the man said softly. Relief flickered across his face. "You made it." Braden's throat tightened. He wanted to speak, wanted to say, "I'm sorry," or "I didn't mean it." But the words stuck. His chest burned. The man stepped closer, cautiously, like approaching a wounded animal. "It's all right. You're still here. I can help you if you let me." Something inside Braden snapped. The fever surged. His vision blurred, edges sharpening unnaturally. His jaw ached, teeth clenching until it hurt. The whisper in his head wasn't a whisper anymore. It was a shout. 67, 67, 67. He staggered forward, every muscle pulling him toward the man. His nails dug into his palms until blood welled. "Kid?" Braden roared. The sound tore out of him like an animal, half scream, half chant. His hands clawed at the air, and for a moment, he wasn't Braden anymore. He was the infection. The man stumbled back, horror in his eyes. "No, no, fight it! Don't let it!" Braden collapsed onto his knees, clutching his head, slamming his fists against the pavement to drown out the chant in his skull. 67, 67. "No!" he shouted, his voice cutting through. "I'm not! I won't!" The man hovered, torn between fleeing and helping. Finally, he dropped to his knees beside Braden, gripping his shoulders. "You're still in there. Hold on, kid. Just hold on." Braden's breath came and... Actually, I'll stop at Braden's breath came. My dog needs me for a second. Braden's breath came in shuddering gasps. His vision swam. For a terrifying second, he tasted blood in his mouth and didn't know if it was his or the man's. But then the surge passed. The chanting dulled to a whisper again. His body sagged, weak and trembling, but human. Still human. The man stared at him, face pale, sweat. What is sweat, bro? The man stared at him, face pale, sweat dripping from his brow. "God help us both," he murmured. Braden couldn't answer. He lay on the cold concrete of the shipping yard, staring at the sky, knowing one truth above all. He was never safe, not from the world, not from the infection, not even from himself. Bella, are you going to be that annoying right now? Sorry, my dog is being annoying. I'm gonna move over to my bed because my dog is gonna just keep doing that. So, I'm taking a trip. Oh. Okay. I'm moving over my bed. Alright, Chapter 4. Chapter 4, The Lonely Road. The man's hand slipped from Brady's shoulders. His eyes were wide, breath ragged. For a moment it looked as if he might stay, might help Braden to his feet. But then he looked at his own bandaged arm, at the faint red seeping through the cloth, at what Braden had done. "No," the man whispered, voice breaking. "Not me too. I won't." He stumbled back, clutching his arm as if to hold the infection in by force. He gave Braden one last haunted look. Not anger, not even pity, but raw fear. Then he turned and fled between the rusting shipping containers. Braden called after him once. His voice cracked. The man never looked back. And so the boy was alone again. Days blurred into weeks. Braden walked. He scavenged what he could. Cans of beans, rainwater and bottles. I remember this. Blankets pulled from abandoned houses. The bite scar never healed right. It burned whenever the infection started. Sometimes
I remember this.
I remember seeing something about scavenging what he could. Um, Sometimes he woke in the night and with his jaw clenched so tight his teeth ached, his throat raw from half-formed screams. The number never left him. Sometimes it was faint, a whisper at the edge of hearing. Other times it roared, so loud he thought his skull would crack. But each time he forced it down, holding it onto himself with bleeding fingernails and stubborn will. He wandered through empty towns and hollow highways. He saw the infected in groups, chanting and writhing, but he stayed in the shadows, silent, unseen. He saw bones on the roadside, some human, some not. He stopped looking closely after the first month. The world was vast and empty, and Braden was just a boy learning to survive inside its ruins. It was nearly a year later when he found her. The farmhouse was overgrown, its fields tangled with weeds. Braden pushed through the brush, searching for shelter from an oncoming storm. Lightning split the sky, and in a flash of light, he saw her, a girl no older than 11, standing in the doorway with a broken broom handle clenched in her fists like a spear. Oh yeah, is that the girl he sleeps with? Her eyes were sharp, fierce, despite the fear trembling at the edges. "Stay back!" she shouted into the thunder. Braden froze, lifting his hands slowly. His voice came out hoarse from disuse. "I'm not," he almost said. "I'm not one of them." But the words felt hollow, with the infection's whisper curling inside him. The girl's chin lifted. "If you come closer, I'll stab you." Rain sheeted down between them. For the first time in months, Braden almost smiled. "What's your name?" he asked. The girl hesitated, then tightened her grip on the broom handle. "Asha." Braden lowered his hands. "No, what do you mean, no?"
It's Asha.
Asha, whatever. Same thing, bro. Braden lowered his hands, feeling something in his chest he hadn't felt since before Harrisburg burned. Hope. The storm crashed down hard that night. Thunder rolled across the valley, rattling the old farmhouses. Rain drummed against the sagging roof. Braden and Asha huddled inside, the floorboards groaning under their weight. She hadn't let go of the broken broom handle every few minutes. Every few minutes she would glance at him, jaw tight, eyes narrowed, as if wanting for him to bare fangs or claws. As if waiting. Braden didn't blame her. He didn't trust himself either. The infection was restless, gnawing at his insides like a wolf pacing the edge of its cage. He sat near the far wall, keeping his distance, hands digging into knees as if he could hold himself together by force. "You're shaking," Asha said at last, voice cutting through the thunder. Braden looked up, sweat on his brow despite the cold. "I'll be fine." She didn't believe him. Her fingers whitened around the broomstick. For a long while, the only sound was the rain in Braden's ragged breathing. He clenched his jaw, fighting the whisper that rose like a chant in his skull. 67, 67, 67. Then came the flood. You can read this next part if you would like, because I'm gonna go get water.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah. Please. I'm reading a book. What? I'm not allowed to say hi to you. Okay. Did you read it all?
No.
You read all of that?
I said no.
Did you read any of it?
No.
Brother, okay. So you're just sitting here in
What?
silence?
There.
You're just sitting here in silence?
Yeah.
Bro. His body jerked forward as if pulled by invisible strings. His hands clawed at the floor. The growl tore from his throat before he could stop it. Guttural and inhuman. His voice bled red at the edges. "Stay back," Asha shouted, pressing herself against the doorframe. But something in her face shifted, not just fear, but recognition, as if she could see the storm inside him. Braden slammed his fist into the floor, cracking the wood, desperate not to move toward her. "Get away!" His voice was barely his own. But instead of running, Asha stepped forward. Her broomstick clattered to the ground. She reached out, a small hand trembling, and it pressed against his arm. For a moment, Braden thought he would tear her apart. His muscles screamed to obey the infection, to rip and bite. His teeth grounded together so hard he tasted blood. But then, the whisper faltered. A warmth spread from where her hand touched him. Not heat, not fire, but something steady, something quiet. The infection inside him reeled as if forced to the edges of his mind. His chest heaved, but the chant dulled, broken into fragments. 6, 7, until it faded into silence. 6, 7, until it faded into silence. Braden collapsed onto his side, gasping, drenched in sweat. Asha sat beside him, hands still pressed to his arm. She looked pale, frightened, but she hadn't let go. "What did you do?" he rasped. She looked her head. She shook her head quickly. "I don't know. I just felt like you were slipping away, and I pulled." Braden, what? The world is blatant, bro. Braden blinked at her. The world tilting strangely. Pulled what? Her gaze flickered to the storm outside, then back to him. "You." The next morning the storm had passed. They sat in the kitchen, sharing a dented can of peas Braden had found in a cupboard. Ash. Oh my god, bro, I literally cannot read. Oh my goodness. Sharing a dented can of peaches Braden had found in a cupboard. Asha wrinkled her nose at the syrup, but she ate anyway. You should have left, Braden said quietly, when I lost control. You should have run. Asha bit into a peach slice, then shrugged. "And go where? You're the first person I've seen in weeks who didn't try to kill me." Braden stared at her. She looked impossibly young. Brother, 3 years difference. What are you on about? Tangled hair falling into her eyes. Dirt smudged across her cheeks. Yet there was something solid in her voice. Solid? Solid?
Well,
The same steadiness. What?
Oh, never mind. I found it.
Solid.
Why? I lost what you were reading, and then I was.
The same steadiness that dragged him from the brink. Dragged him back from the brink. You saved me, he said, the word strange on his tongue. Ash's lips twitched into the smallest smile. Then I guess we're even. You didn't hurt me. I didn't let you. Braden almost laughed, though it came out more like a broken sigh. For the first time since Harrisburg, he didn't feel completely alone. That night, as they lay on opposite sides of the farmhouse, Braden stared at the ceiling. The infection stirred faintly, but it didn't roar. It didn't claw. It only waited. For the first time, he realized he wasn't just holding on for himself anymore. He was holding on for her. That's so sweet. Braden is holding on for an 11-year-old girl.
Brother, it's a. Why do you think? You're the one for a year.
I know.
Wouldn't you do the same?
What do you mean, wouldn't I do the same?
Well, I'm just saying, if you've been completely alone for a year.
Yeah, probably.
And also that person has as well.
Okay. The farmhouse creaked in the wind, but it held. For the first time in months, Braden didn't wake in a ditch or under dripping leaves. He woke to the smell of dust and the faint sound of Asha humming in another room. She was trying to sweep.
Cut off right at the front. They cut off right at the beginning.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The sentence. The last sentence.
What about it?
Cut off a bit at the beginning.
What do you mean cut off?
I don't know, a microphone was something. It's done.
He woke to the smell of dust and the faint sound of Asha humming in another room. She was trying to sweep. What?
What in another room?
Humming. She was trying to sweep. The broom handle she'd once wielded as a spear scraped clumsily across the warped floorboards. You don't have to do that, Braden rasped, still sore from his struggle the night before. Asha shrugged. Somebody should. Feels more like home this way. The word home felt heavy in Braden's chest. He hadn't said it out loud in months. I need to find tissues real quick. I brought some downstairs. I know they were literally right here. Wait, I moved them somewhere? Where did I move them to? Oh, I see them. Quick tissue break. Guys. Okay. Alright. And I'm back. They survived on small things. The kitchen had a half-rotted pantry, and together they scouted the nearby barns for jars of preserves, rusted cans, and brittle sacks of grain. Braden showed her how to siphon rainwater off the roof into a barrel. Asha, quicker on her feet, taught him how to climb into small spaces he never would have fit in. Like when she wiggled through a cellar window to pull out jars of pickled beets. It wasn't enough to call safe, but it was something. One evening, as they ate around the lantern flame, Asha studied him closely. You fight it every day, don't you? She said suddenly. Braden froze. Braden froze, his hand clenching around the spoon. You saw what happens when I don't. She nodded, calm in a way that unsettled him. Then, after a pause, she pushed her sleeve back. A mark scarred her forearm. A crescent of teeth faded, now but unmistakable. Braden's chest went cold. His chair screeched as he stood. When? His voice cracked, harsher than intended. Months ago, Asher said softly. Before I met you, it should have changed me, but it didn't. Wait. Why is he saying when?
Look. Pull the sleeve back. A bite mark.
Oh. Oh.
Brother.
Months ago, Asher said softly. Before I met you, it should have changed me, but it didn't. Braden shook his head, heat rising in his face. That's not possible. I've seen what it does. Everyone turns. It didn't. Her tone was steady, her eyes fixed on him. I don't know why, but I think I'm different. What in the main character is on about right now? Braden's...
They are the main characters. I don't know what to tell
She
you.
isn't the main character. Braden is. Like, come on.
No, they both are.
Oh, really?
They are the bridge and the anchor. You'll find that out later.
No, they aren't. Braden stared at the scar, the evidence right in front of him. He remembered the warmth when she touched him. The way she had pulled him back from the brink. He remembered the warmth when she touched him. You're the reason I'm still alive, he murmured. She tilted her head, a small smile flickering on her lips. Maybe we're both the reason. That night, Braden lay awake, the infection gnawing faintly in his mind. But when the whispers grew, he thought of her voice. Calm, steady, certain, and somehow the storm passed more easily than before. For the first time he believed that maybe survival wasn't just about endurance. Maybe it was about who you held on to. The days after Asher revealed her scar felt different. Braden found himself watching her more closely, not in fear, but in wonder. She should have been one of them. Every instinct told him the mark on her arm should have been her death sentence, the end of her story. And yet she was here, alive, bright-eyed, sharp, and unbroken. When the whispers pressed at the edges of his mind, he thought of her scar, proof that not everything was about the infection. Not everything about the infection was absolute. Proof that there was a crack in its armor. The first hunt. It was Asha who pushed them to go farther than the farmhouse. The pantry was nearly bare, and the winter wasn't far off. They scavenged in silence, picking their way through collapsed barns and abandoned gas stations. Braden showed her how to check corners, how to move without kicking up gravel, how to spot places where infected might lurk. One morning, while searching a half-toppled diner, they found a stray dog nosing through the trash. Asha gasped, her face lighting up. It's a puppy! Braden reached for her shoulder, pulling her back. It's not a puppy. It's starving. That doesn't...
Hold up, wait.
How does that change what it is?
Oh, Michael, there's about to be a fire line on this next page.
Okay. Braden reached... It's not a puppy. It's starving. What in the, that sounds like the impersonation of that dad joke where it's like, hi, hungry, I'm dad. When you're hungry, you're just not the same species. His eyes narrowed at its ribs, the way it growled low in its throat. Hungry animals bite. Astute observation. But Asha crouched, holding out a crust of bread. So do hungry people. The dog snatched the food and bolted through the cracked window, tail tucked. Asha sat back, a little disappointed, but smiling. You're too soft, Braden muttered. And you're... How does he not, like, laugh in this story at all? He just hears that and he's like, okay. That's crazy. That's crazy. She smirked, and you're too hard. For the first time, he realized she wasn't afraid to tease him. The first fire. I gotta freaking screenshot that, bro. For the first time, he realized she wasn't afraid to tease him. That night, they made a fire behind the farmhouse. Asha insisted on telling stories, though most of hers were fragments of her memory. Her mother's voice humming lullabies, a tree swing behind a school she couldn't go back to, the taste of watermelon on summer days. When she turned the question on him, Brayden hesitated. My mom used to take me fishing. She said the river was where the world slowed down. His jaw tightened. Guess the world never slowed down enough. Asha didn't press, but her quiet nod felt like an answer. Like she understood more than her years should have allowed. The first winter. When the snow came, they sealed the farmhouse windows with boards and blankets. Brayden taught Asha how to trap rabbits, and she taught him how to laugh at his own mistakes when the first 3 traps came up empty. Sometimes the infection flared harder in the cold. Brayden would wake in the middle of the night, body shaking, whispers clawing in his mind. Every time Asha was there, she would grip his hand, her presence steady as a stone, and say nothing at all. Her silence was stronger than words. By the time spring thawed the valley, Brayden realized the farmhouse was no longer just a shelter. It was theirs. And Asha, once a girl with a broomstick and a scar, had become something else entirely. She was Tether, his reminder that even in a broken world, not everything was lost. The farmhouse became more than a shelter. It became rhythm. The broken clock on the mantle no longer ticked, but their days had shape. Scavenging in the morning, tending the fire or traps by evening, sharing what little they had at night. Brayden found an old leather-bound notebook in a desk drawer upstairs. The pages were yellowed, the ink faint in some places, but it was blank enough to use. He sharpened a pencil with his knife and began to write. At first it was just to keep track of supplies, but soon the words became something else, a way to hold on to himself when the infection clouded his mind. Journal of Brayden Adamson, August 2nd, 2025. 2 months since the outbreak. I don't know why I'm writing, maybe to remember, maybe so I don't forget I was a person once. Found a girl in the storm yesterday, Asha. She's younger than me, maybe 11. Should have left her, but I didn't. She should have run, but she didn't. Strange. When she touched me, the voices quieted, just for a while. I haven't felt peace in months. August 16th, 2025. Asha admitted she was bitten a year ago and said she's immune. I wanted to call her a liar, but the scar on her arm doesn't lie. If that's true, she's the first hope I've seen in this whole ruined world, and she's the reason I'm still fighting. September 3rd, 2025. Farmhouse isn't safe forever, but it's shelter. Asha insisted on sweeping the floors like dust matters. Like dust matters when the world's gone. Maybe it does. She said it makes it feel like home. I'd forgotten that world. October 12th, 2025. Winter's coming. We trapped a rabbit today. First catch. She laughed when I slipped on the ice carrying it back. I laughed too, but didn't realize I could still do that. One evening while Asha hummed as she stitched pants into her worn jacket, Brayden caught himself staring at her scar again. Does it hurt? he asked quietly. She glanced down, then she shook her head. Not anymore. Sometimes I forget it's even there. Brayden tapped his chest. Mine never lets me forget. Ashley didn't answer right away. Then she reached over, rested her small hand against his wrist, and said softly, "That's why I'll remember for you." Snow fell heavy that winter. They boarded up the farmhouse tighter, wrapped themselves in blankets, and told stories by firelight. Ashley told him about her mother's garden, about sneaking strawberries before they were ripe. Brayden told her about fishing on the Susquehanna with his dad, and about how the river was supposed to be endless, eternal. Both of them knew nothing was eternal anymore, but speaking the words made it feel like maybe something still could be. And the whispers came for Brayden in the middle of the night. And when the whispers came for Brayden in the middle of the night, Ash's hand on his arm was enough to pull him back. The farmhouse was no fortress, but it was the closest thing to either of them had left. Oh my god. I don't know what's happening with my nose, but like, I just like, I don't know, man. My dad wouldn't let me bring my cup downstairs. So,
How much more do you want to do?
how much more do you want to do?
I guess we can do this, and then part 1.
Okay. Chapter 6. Leaving the farmhouse. By the time the snow began to melt, the farmhouse was no longer felt safe. What does that mean?
The farmhouse was no longer felt.
No longer felt safe. That's what I said. By the time the snow began to melt, the farmhouse no longer felt safe. The pantry was nearly bare, their traps caught the... Wasn't the pantry nearly bare like 5 paragraphs ago?
Yeah, but they kept finding more, but now it's there again.
Oh, crazy. Their traps caught less each week, and worse, the infected had found them. It happened one night. Brayden woke to the sound of scraping outside the boarded windows. Low murmurs carrying through the walls. The chorus rose in the dark. 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. He pressed a hand over Ash's mouth before she could speak, his eyes wide. Together they held their breath as shadows passed across the glass. The boards creaked, but held. After an eternity, the voices faded back into the trees. Neither of them slept again. By morning, Brayden knew they had to go. Journal of Brayden Adamson, March 2nd, 2026. 9 months since the outbreak. Wasn't it literally a year ago when he found her?
What do you mean?
Was it not a year after the outbreak when he found her?
That is strange.
And now it's only 9 months. They came in the night. Not many, maybe 3 or 4, but enough. The boards won't hold forever. Ashley tried to act brave, but I saw her hand shaking. I can't keep her there. I can't keep her here. The house feels like ours, but it isn't. It was never ours. March 29th, 2026. Snow is melting. Supplies are almost gone. Asha asked if we can take the broom handle with us. I told her yes. I didn't tell her I've sharpened the end into a real spear. April 7th, 2020. Oh my god. April 7th.
What?
I kept going on like, I kept saying like 2020. April 7th, 2026.
I just heard April 7th, 27, 2020, 2026. I heard.
I think that's probably what it said. April 26th. No, wait, no. That was on purpose, I'm sorry. April 7th, 2026. We're leaving tomorrow. I don't know where we'll go. Only that it has to be somewhere else. I've lived here almost a year. Longest I've stayed anywhere since Harrisburg. Hard to let go, but staying means dying. What was that? What was that? What was that? What are you doing?
Ow, my throat. Ow.
Yeah, your throat hurts. Okay, bucko.
Okay, sorry.
They packed what little they had: jars of pickled beets, the last of the canned beans, blankets too thin for what, Connor?
Okay.
Stop.
I don't know why I'm doing.
Stop. Stop. Thank you. A rusting pot. A rusting pot to boil water. Ashley carried the broom handle strapped to her back like a warrior staff. Brayden carried the weight of everything else. When they reached the road, Brayden turned to look back at the farmhouse one last time. Are you eating chips?
No.
What are you doing?
Shoot.
What are you doing?
Just keep going.
Okay. Its sagging frame leaned against the rest. What are you doing?
Just keep going.
Oh my god. Windows shuttered, smoke stains black against the wood. Do you think someone else will find it? Asha asked softly. Brayden swallowed. Maybe. I hope they do. Asha slipped her hand into his, small fingers, cold but steady. What is that? What was that, Connor?
I don't know, Umber.
Then it wasn't wasted. He squeezed her hand once before they turned away. The road was long and crackled. Are you eating chips?
No.
What are you doing? Okay. Lined with weeds pushing through the asphalt. Why? Why?
I was laughing.
Oh my goodness. The silence of winter was broken now. Okay. God, finally quiet. The silence of winter was broken now by bird song and the distant eerie calls of the infected drifting on the wind. Brayden felt the infection stir in him with every step, the whispers crawling under his skin. But with Asha beside him, it never took over, not fully. Together they walked on, and the farmhouse became oh my god! Could you be louder? Okay. Brayden felt... And the farmhouse became another ghost in the long trail of their survival. The first week was the hardest. The road stretched out like scars across the land, broken, pitted, lined with abandoned cars whose windows had been smashed long ago. Brayden kept his knife in hand, eyes sharp, while Asha padded close behind with her broom-handled spear. Food was harder to find than either of them expected. They overturned cars, found moldy chip bags, and one half-crushed box of crackers that Asha insisted tasted like cardboard but better than nothing. You know, moldy chip bags is really reminding me of something here, Connor. Water was worse. Brayden showed Asha how to fill bottles from streams. I see. Okay. Water was worse. Brayden showed Asha how to fill bottles from streams, then boil them over their small fire.
I love bottles of water.
Jules. Then boil them over their small fire. Fire!
Yo, bro, on your camera, how you just pulled your hair up right now, it was so delayed. Basically, it was like a jump scare.
Bad water kills faster.
Sped up really fast with you lifting your hair up.
Bad water kills faster than hunger. She didn't argue after that. Journal of Brayden Adams. Oh wait. Journal of Brayden Adamson, April 12, 2026. 10 months since outbreak. We left the farmhouse behind for good. The road is... Wait. We have to go back. Okay. Wait. March was 9 months. April would have been 10 months. This would be 11... Oh, wait, no, this is... Never mind, that's...
so picky, bro.
That's still April. Never mind. April 12th, 2026. 10 months since outbreak. We left the farmhouse behind for good. The road is worse than I remember. Empty, except when it isn't. Bodies in cars, skeletons in fields. Asher tries not to look, but sometimes she stares too long. I don't stop her. Better she sees the world for what it is. How loud is your freaking shit bag? Connor, what are you doing? Maybe quiet it down a little bit.
Alright, sorry.
She's better with the spear. She's getting better with the spear. We found an infected alone near the edge of town. It was slow. Broken. Oh my god! It was slow, broken, dragging a leg. I was ready to step in, but she asked me not to. She circled it, waited until it stumbled, then drove the broomstick into its chest. Her hands shook after. She didn't sleep that night, but she did it. She survived. Almost a year since the world fell apart. I'm still here. Still me. Asha asked if I ever think about it, about what I'd be like if I gave in to the infection. I told her I don't have to think about it. I feel it every day. One evening they camped in the skeleton of an old gas station. The sign still read $2.89 per gallon, as if mocking them with a memory of a normal world. Braden built a fire inside the shell of the garbage. Asha curled beside it, picking out loose thread in her jacket. You always look back, she said suddenly. Braden frowned. What do you mean? Every time we leave a place, the farmhouse, the diner, even this gas station, you'll look back when we leave tomorrow. He stared at the flames, unsure of any answer. Asha's voice softened. I think you're scared of letting things go. Braden clenched his jaw. I've let go of plenty. Asha leaned her chin on her knees. Not everything. You're still holding on to yourself. That's why you're different. Braden didn't know whether to call her wrong or thank her, so he said nothing. By the second week, he had fallen into a rhythm. Braden scouted ahead, silent as a shadow, while Asha searched cars for supplies. She was small enough to crawl into spaces he couldn't, brave enough to push where he would hesitate. And every night, when the whispers inside his head grew too loud, Asha was there, steady, unflinching, her presence anchoring him to the ground. Oh my gosh, like the name of the book? The farmhouse had given them survival, but the road was teaching them trust. What are you laughing about, bro?
Didn't hear all that crap.
That was...
I don't know. Come on, okay, no. One more chapter, because...
Okay, well, I would just like to say, Anchor, we know who the anchor is. I'm only assuming that Braden is the bridge. Maybe not. Maybe there's a bridge that is a bridge. Chapter 7, A Fragile Refuge. The third week on the road brought them to a town choked by weeds and silence. A town. Houses sagged, paint peeling, storefronts had been stripped bare months ago. How does a house... Connor. Shut up. But at the center of it all stood a brick building. What? What'd you say?
The only way I know the house sagging is lightning.
But at the center of it all stood a brick building with broken windows and a faded sign. Riverside Middle School. Asha tilted her head as they approached. It looked safe. Braden wasn't so sure. Schools, like hospitals, were places where people had gathered. Gatherings usually meant death. Still, the walls were solid. The doors were heavy. Shelter was shelter. Solid? Inside the halls smelled of dust and mildew. Desks laid overturned, textbooks scattered like fallen leaves. A faded poster on the wall read, "Dream big this year." Asha lingered on it, her fingers brushing the paper. "I used to have one just like this," she whispered. Braden didn't ask for details. He knew what memories cost. Journal of Braden Adamson, May 6, 2026. May 5th, 2026. 11 months since outbreak.
Did you say Mythics 2026?
I said May 6th on accident. We found
Mythics 2026.
We found a school today. The walls are stronger than the farmhouse. Asha likes it here. I don't. Feels wrong. Too many ghosts. But she smiled when she saw the classrooms. That's worth something. My 15th birthday. Didn't think I'd see it. Didn't want to. If I'm being honest, Asha surprised me. She drew a cake with candles on the gymnasium floor using chalk. Then she sang happy birthday, so quietly I almost couldn't hear it. I didn't remember what day was until she told me. I guess she's been keeping track. I didn't think anyone would. I didn't know what to do with that. May 9th, 2026. We've been here a few days. Built a fire in the gymnasium. Asha found more chalk and drew flowers on the floor. She asked me to draw something too. I tried. It looked like a stick figure. She laughed for 10 minutes straight. Infected found us again. Six of them this time. We shut the doors and hid. We shut the doors and hid on the second floor. Their chanting shook the walls. 6-7, 6-7. I thought the glass would break, but...
Bro, why are you doing like the...
I'm trying to freaking give you the silent treatment for yapping.
you're just like... Bro, that's disrespectful.
I thought the glass would break, but it didn't. Asha held my hand the whole time. Didn't let go until the voices faded. May 18th, 2026. Not just survivors. Not just us, survivors. I didn't know if it was good news or bad. Asha wants to talk to them. I want to hide. The infection in me says attack. My gut says run. For once, I don't know which voice to trust. The knock came at noon. These faces met them at the door. David, Mara, and Nate. They stepped inside with cautious smiles, their voices soft but edged with weariness.
Did you not realize?
Not realize what? David?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So you know one of those characters is going to be very important later.
Okay. Maybe stop spoiling the book. Connor. Asha introduced herself. Braden only glared. That night the gymnasium was lit by the crackle of a small fire. The strangers shared beans. Asha... What?
Oh, the crackle.
The crackle of a small fire.
Crapple.
Crapple. The strangers shared beans. Asha laughed at Nate's nervous jokes. Myra humbled a lullaby. She said her mother used to sing. David sat with his rifle across his knees, eyes scanning the dark. Braden stayed silent, knife never far from his hand. Tension coiled through the air, lit like smoke. Mara glanced at Braden's bandaged wrist, the one he never uncovered. "You're hurt," she said quietly. Braden's jaw tightened. "I can't handle it. I can handle it." Asha shifted closer to him, like she could shield him from the question. "He's fine." Nate broke the silence. "Look, we've been moving west. There's talk of safe zones past the Appalachians. We don't know if it's true, but it's better than staying put. You two could come with us." Braden's pulse quickened. His mind split in two. Part of him snarled danger, the infection pressing against his skull like fire, while another part whispered that maybe Asher would be safer with others. Asher looked between them, her voice small but steady. Traveling together would be safer, right? David studied Braden's eyes, then said flatly, sometimes safety's...
Oh, speed, this is disrespectful.
Brother, I sighed.
No, the face though.
The face? What do you even...
They can't see your face, right?
You can't see my face no more.
Right.
Asher looked between them, her voice small but steady.
At that point, just turn the camera off.
Don't tell me what to do, Connor. Sometimes safety's an illusion.
Oh wait.
The gym fell
They
quiet.
have the face cam. Right.
How much can you interrupt me, Connor?
Okay, hold. Hey, they have the face thing though.
No duh.
Okay.
The gym fell quiet. Finally, Braden spoke. Smoke. Finally, Braden spoke. His voice low. One night, then we decide. Journal of Braden Adamson, May not. What was that? What?
I just grabbed myself. Okay.
Okay. Journal of Braden Adamson, May 19th, 2026. They want us to go west with them. Asha wants to. She looks at them like they're a chance. I can't stop thinking about what happens when they find out about me. The infection's always close now. Too close. Her birthday's in July. I need to get her there. I need to see her smile again. That's all that matters. At dawn, the decision hung in the air like a blade. 5 people stood in the gym, surrounded by chalk, flowers, and fading firelight. Mara adjusted her pack. What does that mean? So what? So what's it gonna be? We keep moving together, or we go in our separate ways? Braden looked at Asha, her eyes filled with dangerous thing. With that dangerous thing again. Hope. For the first time in months, he didn't know what answer to give. Ooh, we're ending on a cliffhanger.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Hey Connor, do you remember when you said, like, that funny thing was coming soon? Do you remember that?
What?
Do you remember that? Do you remember when you said that?
What? I don't know. Sorry.
The funny thing that you said, that you said. And you said it was coming soon, and then it just didn't. And you were lying to me. You said it was, you said, wait, where
Where did you go?
where were we at? What the frick happened?
Up. How did you go that far down?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's where we were.
Okay. So wait. You said like the thing that you sent me? Like the image that you sent me. You said it was going to be soon. We never saw it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
How could you lie to me?
I'm being serious. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, what was the chip bag that you were using?
Nose candy.
What kind of candy?
I don't remember.
What kind of candy?
I didn't think that hard.
What?
I didn't think that hard about it.
What kind of candy was it?
Edible.
Simple question, Connor. Answer the question. Come on. Answer the question. We're not
Moving your camera.
we're not moving on until you answer the question.
Oh, we're doing one more. Alright, I guess we can do one more chapter.
No. What?
Oh,
We have to end on the cliffhanger.
okay.
28 pages.
Do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get it all done next part. Maybe. We read a whole 28 pages,
I
bro.
swear, we're gonna go back and you're gonna be like, oh, I forgot everything.
Maybe. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
I'm killing you.
I ain't killing you. That was part 1. That was part 1. We'll do part 2 sometime. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Perchance. I have bowling again tomorrow.
Dog.
I'm sorry.
I'm
It's-
going to kill you.
It's only a tournament, and it won't take long. I swear.
It won't take long. Hey,
It won't.
11 p.m. Guys, I'm still
I will not still be bowling. I promise. I will get home. I will get home at a time that is acceptable,
okay.
and I will call you.
One is complete.
Part 1 is complete. Bye.